Meredith with XT, and today we are talking with Tom about his 2005 TJ. Thank you so much for joining with me today.
Absolutely, happy to be here.
So you have the 2005 TJ Unlimited Wrangler. You have 15 by 8-inch Pro Comp Series 1069 polished wheels with a negative 12mm offset. It gives the Jeep an aggressive stance. You have the 32 by 11.5 R15 Falken Wild Peak AT3W all-terrain tires. And then you have the Old Man Emu 2-inch light load suspension lift with the Nitro Charger Sport shocks. A timeless build. Can you tell me a little bit about why you chose this setup in particular?
Absolutely. So I bought the Jeep about 3 years ago, and when I got it, it came with a set of old black steel wheels, smaller tires, and I knew from the get that I wanted to do a polished wheel look. I just think it looks classic on a Jeep. I ultimately wanted to go for a bigger tire. Jeep had 31-inch tires when I got it, and they were great, but I wanted something that just filled out the wheel well just a little more.
Now, do you do any off-roading, or do you mainly daily drive?
I do. It is my daily driver. I do the occasional off-roading, nothing really crazy. Where I'm from, there's not too many off-road trails or whatnot. Definitely gets some action on the beach, but it is my daily driver, and I'm a college student, so I do a lot of driving, and that was important for me as well with this setup, to find something that kind of struck the balance between look and functionality.
So let's get into a little bit of detail, starting with the wheels. So just as a reminder for everybody watching at home, you have the 15 by 8 Pro Comp Wheel Series 1069 polished wheels with the negative 12mm offset. It gives the Jeep an aggressive stance. You kind of told me about how you wanted to switch it up from the original black wheel that you were looking at. Can you tell me a little bit more about why you chose this exact wheel?
The classic look was something that actually meant a lot to me. My father had a Jeep growing up, and I almost kind of wanted to emulate that car. His Jeep honestly looks nothing like mine, but the polished wheels kind of paid a little homage to that car.
Now, why did you go with Pro Comp? Was it just because they had the particular wheel that you were looking for as far as the styling is concerned?
I've always had a lot of respect for Pro Comp as a company. I like all types of cars, not just Jeeps. I love what they do with muscle car wheels, dragsters, stuff like that. When I had seen these wheels and that they were made by Pro Comp, I was absolutely hooked. Again, another way to just kind of put my own touch on the car.
And then, is there a reason why you chose a 15-inch wheel in diameter?
Yes, I did choose the 15-inch for a reason. I didn't want a wheel that was too big. I think that the 15-inch, in my opinion, is the sweet spot for these TJ Wranglers. It just looks right. Anything bigger, 16, 17, even 18, just almost makes the car look too modern, and I definitely appreciate the vintage of the car. So I tried to keep that in mind when choosing wheel size.
And would you say that you're happy with the amount of sidewall with the 15-inch wheel with the 32-inch tire?
Oh, absolutely. I think it is the perfect amount of sidewall. I kind of took a guess with the 32-inch tire. I did some research, so I went down to the 32-inch. Fits the car so perfectly, not too big, not too small. The wheel and sidewall combo honestly just looks proportional.
Now, staying on the topic of size, the 8-inch width of the wheel paired with the negative 12mm offset, it gives the Jeep an aggressive stance. Why did you go with this size combo for that particular stance?
I chose this stance because, again, you mentioned it's aggressive. I wanted something that looked like it was purposefully done. I often see Jeeps with very thin wheel and tire setups, and I wanted something that kind of poked out past the fender just a little bit, but nothing too much where it looked like I was using a spacer or a very wide setup. This particular size combination made it work.
And I would assume that you like the stance better now compared to stock.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Don't get me wrong, a stock Jeep is a great Jeep. This just makes it look like it's a whole nother beast.
Now, let's get into the tires. We started talking about it a little bit, but again, as a reminder for everybody at home, you have the 32 by 11.5 R15 Falken Wild Peak AT3W all-terrain tires. Why did you go with this tire in specific?
Right. So as I mentioned, the Jeep is my daily driver. I drive it as much as I can. I love to drive it. But I wanted something that had great road manners. I didn't want a tire that was too loud. And, I've been in friends' vehicles in which they've had other competitive tires, and they honestly were pretty loud. So I wanted something where if I had the hardtop on and the windows up, it wasn't crazy. I also really liked the look of the Wild Peak. I think it's just a very aggressive looking tire, beefy sidewall, but at the same time, it's nothing a normal highway can't handle.
How do they feel compared to the smaller tires or the stock tires?
Being that it is a bigger tire, I did see that my gas mileage stayed actually around the same, which no complaints there. As previously mentioned, the noise did go up, but again, I knew what I was getting myself into.
Now, as far as like a calibration or anything was concerned, nothing there for your speedometer?
No, there wasn't really any crazy difference. I knew that there may be a minor difference in speed reading, but it wasn't that big of a deal for me. I knew it would only be incremental within a couple miles an hour. Most modern GPS apps will tell you exactly how fast you're going. So if my speedometer wasn't 100% accurate, if I was using my GPS, I knew, okay, maybe I need to slow down a little bit if I wasn't going the right speed.
Well, you kind of mentioned the suspension, so let's get into it. Again, you have the Old Man Emu 2-inch light load suspension lift kit with the Nitro Charger Sport shocks. You bought the Jeep with this lift kit on there already. Is there a reason why you didn't change it? Are you happy with it?
Oh, I am completely happy with it. Honestly, it rides like a dream, especially out of the Jeeps I've driven. It was just the most comfortable.
Now, as far as the height is concerned, were you okay with sticking with 2 inches of lift, or would you want to go more, possibly in the future?
So the reason I stuck with the 2-inch lift is because some people don't even notice that it's lifted when they first look at the car. It's a very discreet lift. It doesn't really look like anything's been changed too much. If you're looking at the car, it kind of just looks like big wheels and tires, which I love because this lift was done with purpose and it wasn't just for looks, and makes the car function as it should with the bigger tires.
So when you've taken your Jeep off-road, how has the lift kit performed?
Like a dream. I've had zero problem with the lift kit whatsoever. It's been in a couple of different types of terrain, but something that a stock Jeep may not have been able to handle, and this lift took it without a single problem.
You had mentioned that you put the wheels and tires on after you purchased the Jeep, obviously, and it already came with that lift kit on there. Did you have any fitment issues with the 32-inch tires?
None. When I went to my local tire shop to go install it, they kind of gave me the side eye because they weren't really sure it would fit. So they made me stay before they put the first one on. They looked at it, looked at me and said, wow. And then I left, and I've had no problems with it since. Just fits. There's no rubbing, no issue whatsoever.
Would you change anything about this setup? Are you happy with how it was done?
No, I really wouldn't change a thing. Before I bought this car, I did a lot of research into what I would do because my intent was originally to buy a completely stock Jeep and do what I wanted to. Eventually, this Jeep kind of came my way, and it was the right time, the right price. It all just made sense. And I'm very thankful that I got the car with the lift that it had, because honestly, it was something that I wanted to do. I wanted a 2-inch lift, and this was probably the best 2-inch lift that the previous owner could have put on, and super happy with it. Ended up picking my perfect wheel and tire combo, and I will stick with that wheel and tire combo probably forever.
Do you have any future plans for the Jeep?
Nothing crazy. I'm kind of just enjoying it. I think everything that I've wanted to do to the Jeep has been done. Some things out of necessity, some things out of just personal taste, but I think as of right now, I've got it exactly where I want it.
Thank you so much for sharing all of your information and kind of the backstory on your build. Again, you have the 2005 TJ Unlimited, the LJ Wrangler. You have 15 by 8-inch Pro Comp Series 1069 polished wheels with a negative 12mm offset. It gives the Jeep an aggressive stance. You have the 32 by 11.5 R15 Falcon Wild Peak AT3W all-terrain tires, and then you have the Old Man Emu 2-inch light load suspension lift kit with the Nitro Charger Sport shocks. Thank you again so much for sharing all of your information with me. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And for all things Jeep, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.